Okay, welcome to the show. My name is Joe Volpe, and I'm on here with Paul Rodas, and the two of us are working with Science H2O. We are molecular hydration specialists, and we're glad that everybody could be here this evening. We want to welcome you. We're going to explain to you how you can actually have your own SD501 Kangen Ionizer Machine for free. What we thought we'd do is talk a little bit about what the machine does, because our philosophy or our mission statement or tagline is change your water, change your life. And would you say it's done that for you, Paul?
It sure has. I could honestly tell you this is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me as an adult to get involved with Kangen water.
And I can say the same. I've been drinking the water for approximately 3 weeks now. One of the things that most people that start drinking the water, they right away start seeing noticeable changes. So when we talk about changing your life, we actually mean changing your life. It's an event like getting married or having a baby. It literally does change your life. It's an event that once you experience it and you realize that you are reversing some damaging effects to your body, it's something that you begin to believe more and more. We're going to talk about the adult body, and we're going to talk about what is made up of 75% water. We're going to go through some slides rather quickly because I know you're all anxious to find out how you can own this phenomenal ionizing machine, this ionizer, the SD501, for free. So we're going to get to that in just a few minutes, so stay with us. We're going to talk first about what the body's composed of mostly. 75% water, as you can see in this chart. It's like a fishbowl, isn't it, Paul?
It's amazing when you see this analogy here in the fishbowl. If we don't constantly change the water in our fishbowl, what happens is with the fish, they keep eliminating their waste. And what happens is that the water gets very toxic, very acidic, and the fish are not going to last long. The fish will wind up dead if you don't keep on replenishing that fishbowl with fresh water.
Exactly. And we all recognize that the quality of our health actually governs the quality of our life. So as we look at our body like a fishbowl, then you want to look at the cells in our body. Almost looking at this picture, you can get a clearer idea of what's going on the inside of us. We can't see through our body like we can through that fishbowl. So if we can kind of picture what's really going on, imagine if you had fish that were constantly making waste as they swim around in this water, what's going to happen to the fish if we don't change the water? If it gets too dirty, they're going to die, right? Whether it's a $700 fish or a 50-cent fish, the point being is they will die. And that's really why we start to notice that the water gets dirty with acid waste within our bodies. And that's one of the reasons why if we change fish water, we need to change the water in our bodies if we're made up of 75% water. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk a little bit more about. Our body acts in a similar way as this real simple analogy with this fishbowl. You think about breathing, exercising. When we think, when we exercise, when we worry, we read, virtually everything we do, believe it or not, creates acidic waste in the body. So changing to an alkaline water neutralizes the acid and changes the environment of our cells to a healthy environment. The picture of the alkaline scale. Most people know that our body temperature should be, certain degrees. We have the same 98.6 normal temperature. However, how many people really realize what our blood pH should be? Maybe, Paul, you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. A normal body has a average blood pH at 7.36 to 7.4. Now the body works best when it's at this level. If our bodies are too acidic, below that 7.36, you're gonna feel major changes in one's health. And we see here the acidic on the left-hand side of the scale starts going from lesser green to yellow to the orange. This means it's very, very acidic. Just to give you an idea of where soda, the acid in soda stands, is going to be at 2.5. So that's very, very dangerous for one's health, but yet many people all over the world are hooked on soda and the caffeine, not knowing the serious damaging effects it's causing one body. Now, it's amazing that our bodies were made to withstand this acid, but leave that soda in a piece of meat or a penny inside of it, you'll see the damaging effects, the corrosion that happens to those to the meat and also to the penny. Now on the right hand side of the scale, we see it's blue and purple, dark purple. So this represents the alkaline state of the scale here, which is very good. It's very healthy. As many people know, alkalinity is what helps the body to rid itself of free radicals. This is very, very important because now we're talking about health. Now we're talking about longevity. Now we're talking about not aging as fast, and we're talking about not living our bodies in a state that can cause or can live cancer cells. So cancer cannot thrive in an alkaline state, but yet cancer goes crazy in an acidic state.
That's great. That's exactly right. So what medical research has discovered, Paul, is that as we age, we begin to lose our alkaline buffers like calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium. That's one of the reasons we begin to slow down and become sicker and sicker as we age. The things that we eat, like you were mentioning, and the things that we drink accelerate that problem and can create a condition called acidosis in the body, which breeds all manner of illness. So what can acidosis lead to? And we're all guilty of everything that's on there. I mean, I can tell you, that I drink or drank some of those products that were on there. And that's one of the things that really the Japanese were fundamental in discovering a way to reverse this acidic problem. Now let's look at the list here, Paul. Maybe you can go through these and sort of, question and answer some of the things that are causing these diseases.
Sure. Well, when our bodies are in an acidic state, well, it's more susceptible to disease because those minerals that we have in our body as we get older, again, the body's not able to retain them as much as they did before. Now, in an acidic state, when we have too much acid in our system, it's going to create all these problems we see here. And acidic waste is the acid reflux. We have the Alzheimer's, ADD, the allergies. For me, it was back problems. I had a chronic arthritis in my lower back. When I started drinking this Kangen water, 30 days later, I felt 95% relief. And today, after a year of drinking Kangen water, this high alkaline water, I can honestly tell you I have hardly no discomfort at all. Before, it was very painful, and I didn't want to take drugs. I didn't want to take medicine because to me, there's so many side effects today with today's medicines. I don't trust it. We got fibromyalgia. A lot of people are suffering from this. High blood pressure, heart disease, memory loss, mood disorder, obesity. Again, we have the arthritis and dementia, which is forgetfulness of memory, problem with the memory. So we see gastritis, gout, all these situations, these problems here caused because there's too much acidic waste in our bodies. So we need to do something about it, and the solution is drinking alkaline water.
That's great. There's a doctor who discovered something back in 1931, Dr. Otto Warburg, and he discovered something that he won a Nobel Prize for, that cancer grows he discovered that cancer grows in an oxygen-deprived acidic environment, which we were just looking at, but cannot survive in an alkaline environment. What is that telling us? It's like planting an orchid in the sand. It absolutely, positively cannot grow. We want to create an alkaline environment in our body. Disease cannot live in an alkaline body. Acid waste can lead to high cholesterol. Some of the things that were mentioned on that list, for example. What happens when we get high cholesterol? You get cholesterol deposits in the arteries. What is the problem here? It leads to high blood pressure. On the other hand, when you drink the Kangen water that's produced by the SD501, it can prevent that from happening, and you'll see why in a minute. Because many people have that blood pressure thing where they, have to keep getting it checked. Especially, they're looking at, maintaining a healthy blood pressure. Well, many have seen their blood pressure drop dramatically once they started drinking the Kangen water. See, the body heals itself. All the Kangen water is doing is allowing the body to heal itself. Most have even been able to get off of their medication completely. I don't know if you know anybody personally, Paul, that was able to, drop their, lower their blood pressure.
I have met several people that have had this effect with the Kangen water. One thing I wanted to mention, Joe, and to the audience, was that when you have a normal blood pH, as we mentioned before, to 7.36 to 7.4, the blood flows easier through the arteries. It helps the heart pump it a lot easier. But if you have a high alkaline blood pH, what happens, not only do you have the plaque build up in your arteries because of the high cholesterol with all this acid waste, but also the blood becomes thicker. So now we have double problem here. We have a thickening of the artery with the plaque, and also we have the thickening of the blood. That's why many people have difficulty breathing. They have headaches, they have chest pains, they have strokes, heart attacks. All these problems are because of the plaque buildup in the arteries and the thickness of the blood, which makes the makes the heart pump a lot harder. The body is telling you there, something is wrong. We are overworking ourselves to try to get rid of all this acid, but yet nothing is helping it. And medicines, and medicine is not the solution. There's many side effects with medicines. And I know a lot of people out there do not want to take medicine. But guess what? That's the quick fixer. But again, the side effects and the damages later on to other parts and organs of the body will be the payoff. As we can hear on the right-hand side, we see the normal artery again. The blood flows. The blood pH is the blood is thinner. It's not as thick as acidic blood. Therefore, it flows through the body. The oxygen, the blood flows much easier, doesn't allow the heart to overwork itself or the arteries to squeeze it through, so you have a much healthier body.
That's great. That's very good. And what we're looking at right now is some of the facts that tap water, because we don't want to drink tap water. Obviously, most of us know it contains chlorine, contains other chemicals. So if there's chlorine and many other chemicals in tap water that we know are not good for us, then what are we drinking? Well, of course, we're drinking substitutes. We're drinking what we think is healthy, what we think is better, like bottled water and other substitutes. Depending on where we live, some of us, just the taste alone would keep us from drinking tap water. I know I've lived in just driving cross country, even staying in some hotels, sometimes just the water in different parts of the country is, you can't even drink it. It smells terrible. It tastes terrible. But there's other things about tap water that may surprise us that are listed here. Paul, you kind of remember some of these based on what you've experienced. Maybe you could kind of go through these for us.
Sure. when I started doing my research on this water and research on water in general, I was totally surprised and shocked at what they are allowing in our tap waters. And we see here, there's viruses, bacteria, chemical byproducts from the neighboring manufacturing companies, runoff from farming, and this includes fertilizing, synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides. There's fungicides as well, hormones and antibiotics, pharmaceutical drugs, household cleaners, cleaning residues, heavy metals from degrading plumbing. So go into the tap water, which is very dangerous to our health. Now, you might think, okay, well, you know what? I'm healthy because I have a filtering system that helps me clean all these chemicals and hormones and pesticides out. But you know what? It's interesting that a lot of these chemicals are molecularly smaller than water molecules and flush right through the system that they have, these cleaning water systems that they have. We have human and animal waste that go into our tap water. We have parasites. The list goes on and on and on, and it's just remarkable to see how the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, allows this crap to go into our tap water. Now, a lot of people don't know that when we're taking a shower, our body actually absorbs a lot of water. We're talking cups. We're talking glasses of water that our body absorbs as we're taking a shower. So we get all those chlorines, we get all this human waste, and that's because they add chlorine and chemicals to treat the water to make it passable, does not mean that it's not dangerous. So that's very shocking. We got to think about not only ourselves, we got to think about our families, our kids, who are also susceptible to disease because of all this allowable chemicals into our water.
That's exactly it. And what do we do as an alternative? We know that we don't want to drink tap water. We usually do just something to help our health, and that's drink bottled water, because we're trying to keep our health better, right? And here's some facts about bottled water. 25% is simply untreated tap water. So how does that make you feel now that you know that some of that bottled water that you pay for is no better than what you're getting out of your tap? 75% is more acidic than ordinary tap water. For instance, one that's bottled by Pepsi-Cola uses the Detroit River as one of its main water sources, Aquafina. Dasani has been banned from the UK. Anything that's stored in plastic bottles has the problem of leaching petrochemicals. So what we're looking at is a nightmare of bottles ending up as garbage. Every second, 1,500 bottles end up as garbage. It's really an environmental nightmare. Where do they go? Somebody said it'd take 500 or 1,000 years, Paul, for these to biodegrade.
1,000 years.
Yeah, so, there's a swath of plastic in the Pacific Ocean that is larger than the state of Texas. I mean, can you imagine? It's just unbelievable. So, what do? Has anybody ever heard of miracle waters from Lourdes or France or Norderney, Germany, other places, Himalayas? These places where people come from hundreds of miles just to capture and drink these waters. And there's something special about these waters. Why else would people travel from all over the world to get it? And after scientists examined those waters, it was discovered that the miracle healing water at all of these locations had one thing in common: active hydrogen, which today is known as alkaline water. In other words, they're alkaline water sources. People were getting dramatic health benefits from drinking these waters. Both Russian and Japanese scientists several decades ago began to study these waters in an attempt to recreate them as closely as possible. The Japanese technology has emerged as the most advanced, dependable, cost-effective way to enjoy the amazing benefits of miracle water. And the technology makes it possible for each of us to actually produce water. And that's what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, is how we can own our own alkaline, antioxidant-rich SD501 Kangen Ionizer Machine for free. And we're going to get to that in just a little bit. So one of the things that we need to understand is Enagic company, 35-year-old privately held, OEM, 250 million plus annual revenues, top industry leader. They have offices in LA, New York, Chicago, Honolulu, Canada. They're a member of the Direct Selling Association. What's interesting is that each and every Kangen water machine is made by one person. This keeps the quality control at a very high level. Not only is every machine made by one person, all the parts that go into making the machine are made in-house. Unlike every other water ionizer out there, Kangen machines are not made by an assembly line. The parts are not coming from other sources with the hopes that the batch of parts will be quality materials. This company, Enagic, takes responsibility for the quality of every machine. Also, the fact that Enagic's a member of the DSA lends enormous credibility to the company. The company has received numerous awards, as you can see here, and certificates of recognition that can be viewed on their website. But the one that we are most proud of is the endorsement we have earned from the Japanese Association for Disease Prevention for Adult Diseases. It's a nonprofit organization whose sole purpose is to find ways to prevent diseases. This third-party validation is the most prestigious Enagic has, because it's made up of over 6,500 physicians and surgeons. Also impressive is that they have only endorsed the Enagic water ionizer exclusively, no one else. So when you go to the doctor, sometimes you want a second opinion, right? Well, you might even go to 3 doctors before making an important health decision. Well, what if you had 6,500 doctors all agreeing that Enagic's Kangen water ionizer is the best water of all the ionizers that they've tested and researched? And personally, I don't think I can out-research that many doctors. I don't know about you, Paul. They did a lot more than just do some reading on the internet. They thoroughly examined, tested at least 40 other water ionizers before choosing only the Enagic machine. And this endorsement has held for many years. It's interesting, the history, when I first learned how much a machine costs. I believe that only hospitals had these machines. They were between $80,000 and $300,000. And there were people in Japan lined up outside the hospitals with gallon jugs in their hand, or receptacles for carrying this water back home, because that was the only way they could get this miracle water, as they called it. And today, ever since I think it was 1994 or so, they were able to produce these so that every person, every family could have one in their home and produce this miracle water in their home right from their tap. And which is what we're going to be discussing in a little bit, to show how all of us can own this miracle machine, really, because of what it can do for our bodies. And in Japan, that was one of the big changes. I think it's 1 in 5 families now own a machine in Japan, as compared to in the United States. We're still, I think the ratio is 1 in 18,000, over 18,000. So we still have a lot of catching up to do, and that's really what we're going to be talking a little bit about tonight, is some of the benefits that we can, health-wise, and even change our financial health or financial wealth. Since 1994, Enagic devices have been in use in the top 250 Japanese hospitals. The SD501 is the only water ionizer in the world that has been certified as a medical device by the Japanese Health and Welfare Department. And it's equivalent to our FDA. Did you want to add to that, Paul?
What I wanted to mention, Joe, was that it's interesting that the doctor who invented this machine, the ionizer with the high alkaline, was the pioneer of the colonoscopy. So he understood the dangers and to have a clean colon because of all the cancers that develop in them from feces that stay there longer than they should be there. So he knew that they had to be regularly, daily, had to be flushed out. And it's interesting that as he started helping these people cure themselves with this water, it became very popular. And like you mentioned, people would stand in lines because they saw how people who had colon cancers and all these other ailments all of a sudden felt better. And that's where the term miracle water came. Everybody was feeling better. Everybody who drank Kangen water was experiencing amazing results. I'm not talking gradual, I'm talking amazing results, like quickly. It's because of the flushing out of the toxins and the acid. Now, I don't know if a lot of people know out there, but the Japanese are ranked #1 in longevity in life. And Kangen water has a major part to do with that ability to last a lot longer. So therefore, they get sick less, and they lead healthier lives.
That's really true. We're going to talk about, because I know everybody's really anxious to find out how they can get one of these machines for free. What we really want to talk about before we get to that is the 3 unique properties of Kangen water. And it's really simple. It microclusters, it's an antioxidant, and it's alkaline. So what that really means, to break it down, is if we take a look at each of these 3 properties that was discovered when an Enagic scientist researched these miracle waters that we spoke of earlier. And what was discovered is that these waters have these 3 main properties. The first of the water, the first property of the water, and perhaps the most important, is that it's microclustered. And we're going to explain what microclustering is and illustrate. When the water crashes down over the rocks and down the hills and through foliage, it's broken up into tiny molecules. So when you look at these glaciers or mountaintops that are covered with snow, and then it melts, and then the water flows down the mountain, crashes down over the rocks, through the hills, down the hills, and through foliage, it's broken up into tiny molecules that hydrate the body at the cellular level. And generally, when we drink water, that clusters into clumps of between 24, or at least that's what most of the water we're drinking when we're drinking bottled water, between 24 and 90 molecules. We call that big water. Once our tap water goes through the Kangen machine, however, these big clusters are broken up into very small clusters of only about 5 or 6 water molecules per cluster, just like the miracle waters that we were talking about. This serves as a great hydration for the body, and hydration is one of the most important elements for the body's good health. Sometimes I like to use the book quoting where a doctor has written a powerful statement about the importance of hydration. And I'll share some of those quotes with you later, so you can choose which one you'd like to use that you might like, and explain it to other persons. But this small water, as it's referred to, is what is called structured water or hexagonal water, and it hydrates the body better than any other water. To illustrate what we actually mean, if you look at the cell here, let's say that this cell wall represents a chain link fence, and if we were to throw tennis balls at it, what would happen? I mean, the balls wouldn't go through. Compare that with pebbles or marbles that would easily pass through the chain link fence. That's the difference between drinking Kangen water and most other waters, like bottled water. Because of the microclustering that takes place by going through the electrolysis process, Kangen water hydrates the body at the cellular level, delivering nutrients and flushing out toxins. Drinking this water is really the most natural way to detoxify the body, rid the body of impurities. Maybe, Paul, you could kind of talk a little bit about the antioxidation.
Sure. Well, antioxidation means it doesn't rust, as we will see like metal or steel to a car. We see an apple here. If an apple is cut open and is left open in the air, just minutes later we'll see how it starts browning. It starts rotting. if anything starts oxidating. And oxidation just means sickness and aging when it comes to the body. But now it's amazing what Kangen water does. It's a breakthrough technology. It's been around just 25 years. We're able, Kangen, the scientists were able to duplicate what the water from the Himalayas, from Mount Fiji, from these very few places in the world, over to your own sink. And that's to create this water, this very powerful antioxidant water. It's anti-inflammatory, anti-aging. So these are amazing properties that are found in this water, this science water. And as you can see, it's going to stop that aging process. You can see many people who have been drinking Kangen water for years. You see how they have, it looks like they're reversing the age of anything. As a matter of fact, for me drinking it 1 year, I've seen a difference myself in my skin and just the way I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot healthier. And, it's just a great feeling.
Isn't that true? One of the things that we notice is when we eat or drink things that are oxidizing to our body, as you were talking about, we're speeding up the aging process, aren't we? But if we can eat or drink things that neutralize the free radicals in our body, we can actually slow down the aging process. We can actually measure the antioxidant value of what we are drinking with something called, as is mentioned, listed here, an ORP meter, oxygen reduction potential. This is, in other words, answering the question, what is the potential for this liquid to reduce oxidation? It's what it's answering. And we'll be able to demonstrate, you'll be able to see demonstrations. We have a couple of videos on our website, scienceh2o.com, that you can see an actual demonstration of what happens to water when you measure this oxygen reduction potential with Kangen water next to bottled water. Most of the most famous bottled waters, the most common ones that most people drink. So really the Kangen water is the best and easiest way to get antioxidants into the body in a large enough quantity. I mean, you wouldn't be able to eat enough oranges or lemons or high rich antioxidant foods to get the equivalent of what you would get in drinking Kangen water. So as we're going to be talking about a little bit further, we think this idea of reading or learning about, positive reading is really bad for us, and a negative reading on the ORP meter is really good for us. We're going to learn, and you can see that, as I said in the video, if you watch the video, that the larger the negative number, the better it is for us, and the larger the positive number, the worse it is for us. Because that's the rusting side, that's the oxidizing side. It's causing things to age quicker. Whereas on the negative side, if it has a negative reading, it's neutralizing free radicals. And so it's slowing the aging process. And that's what we want to do. We want to slow the aging process. And as I said, you couldn't possibly eat enough fruits and vegetables to equal the antioxidant value of Kangen water. And this Kangen water is very alkaline. We'll show you, or you'll see that when you watch that video demonstration. They'll show you firsthand the difference in how acidic bottled water is compared to Kangen water, and you'll just be amazed. So what we're talking about here is this Japanese technology. It's a Japanese water technology. It makes a huge difference in the way that we treat illness. The Japanese have discovered, the way the East treats illness compared to the West, as they say. Here in the United States, what do we do, Paul? Every time somebody gets sick, where do they go?
Go right to the doctor, give them medication, just fill them up with all these drugs. It's interesting how the United States, we are one of the most advanced nations in the world, and yet we spend billions and billions and billions of dollars every year on health care, but yet we're like number 37 on life longevity chart. Something's wrong.
In fact, you can see where Japan is. Notice where they are. That's the longevity report from the UN. They're number one. And like you said, Paul, where's the United States?
A correction, there are 38. I apologize. They're 38.
Right. You don't want to be 38th in anything, right? Especially in longevity. So we really see. In fact, you can be the judge for yourself. Enagic CEO Hironari Oshiro, how old is he? He's like,
I believe he's close to, what is he?
80.
That's amazing.
80. And how old is the guy next to him?
I think, what is he, like 65?
Right, he's a little bit younger. Actually, I think they're close in age. But he's definitely younger. He's definitely younger. And you would never think that he's, that old. So, it definitely is something interesting how if that is working, and like I said, 1 in 5 families are drinking Kangen water in Japan. He's considered one of the top 10 doctors in the world because, as you were talking about the colonoscopy, Dr. Hiromi Shinya, the procedure used to remove polyp is called the Shinya method. You were talking about him a little bit earlier, weren't you?
Right, exactly.
He's quite well known. And, of course, in his book, The Enzyme Factor, he explains that he recommends 2 things for his patients, besides a good diet: Kangen water. And he also touts the fact that he has 100% remission of all his cancer patients, 0% recurrence. How many oncologists do you know that can say that? Pretty amazing. So what is the website show? Well, if you go to their website, if you go to his website, you can actually see live footage of colons of many of his patients. And although they'll start out with different conditions, the one thing they all have in common is after about 3 months, their colons look pink and healthy. This slide is, I believe, of a woman who had breast cancer, and after 3 months of drinking Kangen water and following Dr. Shinya's diet, her colon looked like it does here in this slide. Pretty amazing. Now, maybe you can talk about the Kangen water machine, because you've been using it now for a while. How many different types of water or kinds of water does the Kangen water machine make, the ionizer?
It makes 7 types of water, and it's amazing that it goes to 11.5 total alkaline water all the way to 2.5, which is very acidic. Now, the acidic water we can use to clean our countertops, spray it on the toilets, the handrails. I mean, it kills bacteria pretty much on contact. And then we have the 5.5, which is used as a beauty water, which is very good. A lot of women love this machine because they notice how it gets rid of the top dead layers of dead cells on the skin, and it leaves it so much more smooth. Great for hair, and a lot of women carry it as a little spray and mist it on their face throughout the day. And a lot of people who've had acne problems, they will, by drinking this water and by spraying this water and washing their face, they notice a major difference. The 7.0 is just clean water, and a lot of people who are starting to drink Kangen water would prefer to drink this because if they're taking medication, a lot of medication is time lapse. So they need to drink something that's not going to speed it up, or else it could affect their medication. The 8.5 is what people usually start drinking when they first get their machine, because the high alkalinity could cause them to feel very lightheaded, or it might cause them to go to the bathroom because it just starts flushing you out. So we start with 8.5, and gradually a week later we'll hit the 9. A week after that, hit the 9.5.
That's great.
So this is an excellent machine that converts ordinary tap water into 7 types of water.
Yeah, it's a beautiful machine. I mean, it really is. And as you were saying about using medications, the 7.0 is actually neutral water. It's just clean, pure water. It's not alkaline. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can make that. And then when you are taking supplements, however, I read that the Kangen alkaline water is awesome. I mean, it's just simply great for taking supplements. It makes them more effective, far more than they would be just taking them with bottled water like we were used to, So let's really get right down to it here, because we're going to talk about how we can, all get one. We'll teach you how you can get a machine, SD501, for free. When you first hear that the Kangen machine costs almost $4,000, you probably hit the floor, or you drop, or you get sticker shock. I mean, that's how people think, because they're looking at a machine that's just taking your tap water and making it into this miracle water. Well, remember what I said earlier, that the hospitals, before any machines were made for home use, they were running between $80,000 and $300,000. That was the only way people could get it, is to go into a hospital. They had lines around the block just because it had such a great health value, and it does work. So now you have to look at, from 80,000, 4,000 is nothing, because you're getting a machine that can keep you living healthier, longer, slow down the aging process. So what we're saying is, really look at it. Having this machine is really, if you think about it, it's going to save an individual family a lot of money. I mean, if you just look at all the money that you spend, I mean, we talked a little bit about its different water uses. It can, like, you spend money for laundry detergent, disinfectants, beauty toner, lotions, hair conditioners, etc. It all adds up. And this ionizer can provide you with all the different types of waters that can be used in replacement of your beauty toner, lotions, hair conditioners, disinfectants, laundry detergents, etc. And as Paul, you mentioned, it's the only ionizer in the world that is certified as a medical device by the Japanese Ministry of Health. So if you were to, see this one in those hospitals at 4,000, you wouldn't think anything of it. In fact, if you were to price out some of the other medical equipment there, this would probably be the cheapest thing in the room. But when you think of it sitting next to your toaster, that's when it seems like a lot of money. Isn't that true, Paul?
It's very true. But once we start like here in this slide here, we're talking about in a 15-year span. If you were to buy bottled water, which the Japanese consider dead water because it's reverse osmosis, it has no minerals. And not only that, it's destroying the ecology. For one person who drinks what they're supposed to drink a day of water, they're going to be spending $16,000, over $16,000 in a 15-year span. For a family, that's over $45,000. The Enagic Kangen water machine here, which is eco-friendly, it has a minimum lifespan of 15 years to 25 years. And you're spending 73 cents a day. So yes, $4,000 is nothing. It's funny, because when I was introduced to this machine, it sounded all great until I heard about the price. But then I started thinking, wow, you know what? Is it really true, all the benefits one can have? And talking to so many people that are drinking this alkaline from Kangen water, drinking this Kangen water, it started saying, wait a second, I cannot afford not to have this machine. And to be honest with you, I wasn't working at the time. I was unemployed. But my family's health and my health kept coming to my head. Wow. I mean, my family's dying right now because of all this acid in their bodies. I made adjustments. I didn't have to have all those cable channels. I didn't have to have all those on my cell phone, all these different things on my cell phone. So there's ways that we can adjust our income so that we can get this amazing machine. And not only that, it's great, we can get this machine financed for you, but as you're going to see, there's ways that you can even get this machine for free.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Just to let you know that Enagic also has some other machines that are made. That's just travel unit, commercial unit. There's a shower unit, the 501 shower unit, but the one that almost everybody is using is the SD501. Almost 99.9%, because it does so many different things. It produces all the different waters, and it even talks to you, Joe. That's what I was just saying. Let's just quickly touch on the trademarked plate types, because this is really one of the things that makes us probably stand out among any other manufacturer of an ionizer in the world. Is the Japanese, this particular company, Enagic, has the most plates, titanium plates. And so when you look at it, you see the SD501's got the largest engine. It delivers the most antioxidants of any other machine. It's a virtual workhorse, because it can produce water all day, every day for 20 years, and is by far our most popular, as I was just saying. The travel unit with 3 plates and the smaller units are less expensive and are made with the same quality and deliver true Kangen water. We say if you need to go with a less expensive unit, at least make sure you're getting Kangen water by purchasing one of our smaller units. The little travel unit's $12.80, the 3-plate junior is $23.80, and the 5-plate deluxe is $32.80. And just to kind of give you a little bit more on the engine, which engine would you rather get your water from? Solid, large titanium plates that are dipped in medical grade platinum, or small mesh plates that are sprayed with a thin coat of platinum. All water ionizers look pretty much the same on the outside, but when you open up the machines, you really get to see what's on the inside. And obviously, these smaller engines are not going to be able to deliver the same quality water as Enagic's superior engine. In fact, these smaller engine machines produced by other companies, one thing I did read by a third-party independent laboratory test company, they said that on the warranty, they do not warranty them depending on how much hard water you have. So if you live in an area of the United States or other parts of the world where you have well water or hard water, they'll void the warranty. Not so with the Enagic machine. So they're just another example of differences in our large engines compared with the smaller engines. And then, as I mentioned, the Enagic is an original equipment manufacturer, OEM, and that every machine is made by one person rather than assembly line. So each machine also has to pass this 22-point checklist for superior quality control that ensures every machine meets the same standard. And just to kind of give you a quick comparison here, that the others merely spray their mesh screens with while Enagic completely dips their solid titanium plates into the medical grade platinum. The quality of platinum they use costs $2,000 per ounce. I think you're beginning to see where the money is in these machines. You get the real deal here. And also, everyone knows that you can't get the same amount of light from a 25-watt bulb as you can from a 100-watt bulb. The same is true with ionizers. You just can't get the same quality ionization with less power. It's impossible. Other ionizers are not built to withstand 230 watts of power coursing through their machines like the Enagic Kangen SD501. They can only use about 80 watts of power, and even then run the risk of overheating. Enagic's Kangen machines are built to produce powerful ionized water that gets results, and also built to last. You'll notice that with other machines, the warranty is invalid if you use more than 2.5 gallons per day. I mean, you go through that. I mean, just 2 people would go through that for a whole family. Are you kidding? The Kangen machine can be run all day long, as you know, Paul. You've had yours for now quite a while, with no problem. You haven't had any problems at all.
Not at all.
So I think there's an example. There's the home office in California has 6 Kangen machines in the lobby where the public comes to get free water. And they travel from all over to get this water. And each machine puts out an average of 2,000 gallons per day. Per day. Now, what machine's going to do that?
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And the Japanese make quality products. That's what they're known for. Their technology is just superior than many nations. Japanese do not, mess around when it comes to technology. They make things that last because they want people to understand their worth ethics, their morals, and to see that when they put their mind to something, they're going to go all the way. So these machines are like you mentioned. I honestly now feel they're totally underpriced. But you know what? They're out there. One of the main interests is for people to be educated when it comes to alkaline water and what it means to the health.
Right. Exactly. They're manufactured in Osaka, Japan. And here's a slide of the cleaning cartridge. It's patented and used once or twice a month for calcium removal, keeping the machine clean. It is stated that it will last for 20 years. Is that right?
15 to 25 years at the minimum, yes.
Yeah. Now I can very briefly show you a little bit about the business opportunity and show you also how you can get your machine, because I know everybody's been waiting to find out how are you going to get one of these for free. I generally show this portion to everyone, even if doing the business or not. It's something, even if doing the business is not what you're thinking, or you just want to have the machine for your family, for your health. And I'll say this because the company has a referral program that's built in already that even pays customers who are not doing the business at all if someone they recommend the machine to happens to buy a unit. So there's some people who aren't interested in the business, others are. So here's the way it goes. Okay. First of all, no sign-up fee, no monthly qualifications, no stocking, inventory loading, no annual renewal, cumulative team. Set up, an international sponsoring, 6 ways to earn income, pays you daily, and you have us as experts as your team, the Science H2O team. We would be part of your team. You would just use us to help if you had persons that had questions. It's so simple. And for those that are looking at this as a business, just so you know, MLM versus direct sales, the big difference is in MLM, that's typically what most people think of. There's you, and then it's set up in a traditional multi-level, different levels. If you look at how we're broken down, ours is direct sales, which goes over and then down. Okay, so the structure of Enagic is set up as a direct sales model. And in fact, they've patented their compensation plan so that it's unique to their company. In multi-level marketing, traditionally, it's like the 80-20 or 90-20, only 90-10 rather, only 10% really achieve any kind of income at all, because it takes a lot of people under you to make any money. That's why there's never more than just a few at the top. But Enagic's marketing plan allows each and every distributor to make the same thing, so everyone has the same opportunity. And basically, they reward the person responsible for the sale or referral first, and they pay very well, as you'll see. So right now, the company pays on a point system, each point being worth $285. So when you sell or refer your first 2 machines, the company sends you $285. This is called your 1A lane. Okay, so you get $285, $285. Once you refer Kangen water to a third person who buys it, the company sends you $570, or 2 times $285. This is called your 2A lane. And if that is all you did, we're going to show you how you can get your machine for free. Show this to 3 people who buy, and each of them did the same thing. Your machine would be paid for. And let's look at that. So Paul, here's where everybody's been finally waiting to see how they can get their machine for free. And we mean that. We absolutely, positively mean that. When your 3 people get 3, the company will have sent you a total of $4,560, which more than covers the cost of your machine. Or you could just talk to 12 people yourself and accomplish the same thing. However, we think with our method of using the social media in our strategy, and again, we have a Science H2O website, and we are doing presentations several times a week. You can direct them to the videos, and all they have to do is watch a video and then get water. Because most of what we do is, here, watch a video, you get some water. Watch a video, you give them a gallon of water. Keep it simple. This doesn't have to be done in any certain amount of time. It can happen very quickly or at your own pace. It doesn't matter. The money is the same. Like I said, this is a direct selling company, and we're here to help you so that each and every one of you can get your machine for free simply by referring 3 people. Now, the question I have is, do you know anybody that drinks water that would like to be healthier after they know what they're drinking is really poisoning their body? They're drinking acidic water. Isn't that right, Paul?
It's amazing compensation. And my thing is that, do you know anybody who's sick right now? Yes. You know anybody drinks water. Everybody drinks water. You know anybody that's sick. Well, they're sick because they have probably acidosis. They have too much acid in their systems. Now this here is an amazing way to get a free machine. It's not that difficult when you start telling people, when you have your machine and you're feeling better and you're telling others about it, they're going to be intrigued. Now look what happens with the third person. It goes from 25 to 570. And then if you go to a 3A, well, it just keeps increasing to higher amounts. But right here we can see in these in this scale here how it's very, very realistic to get your machine for free. Again, nobody's going to be pushing you. Nobody's going to be forcing you. There's no minimum. It's when you want to do it. We can help you. Like Joe mentioned, scienceh2o.com, great website, a lot of information, a lot is right there. We took the time to educate the visitors so that the viewers could be there and understand what this is all about.
Now here's something, if you're here and you're listening and you want to just get a machine for free, what you need to do is you need to go to our website, www.scienceh2o.com, and you need to contact us immediately, and we will get you started, and we will help you get your machine so you can have your machine in a very short time paid for. You can go ahead and order it. We have a financing where you don't have to put any money down. You can order your machine tomorrow, as quick as tomorrow, and not have to pay for it. And actually, you could have your 3 people within the first week, and you could already have the money to pay it off within your first 30 days. Okay, that's how quickly, before your first payment's due. And most of the financing, we've got financing that can do anywhere from, depending on a person, they can do $85 to maybe $150 a month. But as we said, if you want to just get it for free, you can contact us, go to our website, and we will help you get your machine for free. That's what we'll do. Now, for those that are interested in a little bit more than just getting your machine for free, because we know some people that have actually done this and have gotten 6 figures in less than a year. They've built their referral base, and this thing has just gone unbelievable for them. So for those of you that are interested in knowing what happens after this, after you get your machine for free, it goes to the next. It goes to 3A. And 3A simply means after 10 people in your group have purchased a machine, now you have this 3A position. The company sends you $855 for every machine you refer and every machine your people in this line sell or refer. So remember, you've already reached this level when you got your machine free, because that represented 12 people. See? So you've already hit this point, because to get your machine for free, you would have had to get 12 people. So you have already gotten to this level. So you're already here. there's this. We can talk about a special promotion too. If you're interested, you need to go to our website, www.scienceh2o.com, and contact us there or text us. There's a number that you can text. I'll give it to you now, and then you can also see it on our website. It's 704-512-0032. If you text the word H2O to that number, we can actually set you up with a special promotion now that you can hit this level. You'll make $855 on your third sale if you do act during this promotion. All you need is 3 instead of having. You can actually hit that level sooner. Instead of having to get 10, the company will pay you $855 when you make your third sale. So as we showed you back here, you'd get $285, and then $570. Well, right now, the special promotion, it would be $285, and your third sale would be $855. So I think if you want to, get on this promotion, we don't know when it's going to expire. It's for a limited time. Definitely go to our website, www.scienceh2o.com, and contact us. Go ahead. We'll set up the paperwork. You can have your machine paid in less than 30 days with this special promotion. Now, the next point here is once your group sells 20 machines collectively, you move to the 4A position, which is basically 4 times 285, and the company will now send you $1,140 for every machine you refer and every machine your people in that line refer. So let's say that, as we see here, Mary, Ann, and Linda don't really do anything in the business at all. You've made $1,140 and they're strictly customers, but Joe sees the opportunity and he decides he wants to make a business of this. So let's say Joe decides to invite 15 people to our presentation online, and 6 of them purchase a machine. He will make $285, and then $570, and then he'll be thrilled with the money he'll be making that night. But you, on the other hand, will have made $6,840 and not even know any of these people. You might have even been at the movies or someplace else, but on the other hand, perhaps you would have wanted to be there to help them out. Either way, you make money, both of you. And the same is going to be true whether he does anything or not. It's really an opportunity for people to benefit here. There's no deadlines. There's no monthly quotas when it comes to the marketing plan like there are with MLM companies. So do you see the big picture? And once your entire group has contributed in getting 50 sales, the company starts sending you $1,425 for every machine you refer and every machine that people in this line refer. It's called the 5A line. And then once you and your group reach a total of 100 sales, now you've reached what's called the 6A line. And that's the top of the marketing structure. And the company sends you $1,710 for every sale or every referral. So if you wanted to look at this again, just so you can see the big picture here, jumped ahead. Let's say that when Joe sells 6 machines, you make $10,260, whether you were there or not. And again, this could happen in an evening. It could take several weeks, several months to accomplish. The money is going to be the same. The business is easy, not complicated. You just share the information, share the demonstration, share the Kangen water, follow up, duplication. Simplicity is the key. And as Paul and I said, we're here several times a week. You can go to our website. We have all the videos there for anybody. So you just tell them, look, I'll give you the water. You go watch the video. As soon as they watch the video, you don't even have to hand them out a video. You don't need a video to hand them out because we produced all the videos for you. All you have to do is just share the demonstration. We have all the demonstrations on our website, and then you invite them to come to our live webinar. And we can even open it up for question and answer when they come. So the reasons people are succeeding is, Paul, maybe you might want to go through some of these.
Sure, because this is very simple. It's very duplicatable system. It's a target market. So the baby boomers are the ones who are feeling all these ailments, and they're the ones who are going to benefit the most. I mean, everybody benefits, but the baby boomers will definitely feel major changes in their health after drinking the alkaline water. It's a high power overrides and bonuses. Phenomenal compensation program. Puppy dog marketing approach. So it's very, very simple. You see that it. There's no. You've never heard of this company. They don't spend money on marketing. They don't go on commercials. Everybody has their own testimony. It's a very outstanding, high quality product. It's a rock solid company. It's been around for many, many years. And you know what? It's new. It's great timing. Now what's new? It's been introduced in the United States. Many people are getting into this alkaline kick. And that's why this is just a great time to join this company so that you can make money that will make you comfortable for yourself and your family, so you can enjoy the things that you want in life and being healthy at the same time.
That's it, Paul. That's it. So for those of you that are on this call for the first time, get whoever invited you on this call, get with them, and let's get you some water. Let's get you ordering your SD501, and let's get you starting to enjoy the health benefits, because at the end of the day, it's really that. It's the health that this machine can do. Not only save households a lot of money in many ways, but who doesn't want to save money? However, who doesn't want to be health? And so many are health conscious today. And this is it's only been in the United States since actually 2003, but really to start really getting heard of like around 2005, 2006. And so it's so new still. I mean, this is, one in 18,000, over 18,000 have even have a water machine compared to 1 in 5 in Japan. And it's just opened up other countries. If you have family or friends in other countries like in Mexico, Europe, Australia, England, Canada, this company is opening up offices so they can actually get and start feeling the health. So we thank you for coming on the call today. Thank you for listening and watching. And we look forward to supporting your team. And again, ask the hydration specialist. Thanks again, Paul.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.